A former WWE talent rumored to be joining AEW. We're going to be talking about it in today's video right here on The Ango Show. A lot of things are cooking up. My name is Ango. If you guys want more videos like this, go ahead and click subscribe. We're going to kick things off talking about Impulsive. Oh, man, MJF having some fun on Twitter. He tweeted out to Logan Paul today, "Yo, Logan Paul, I'm a big fan, and I heard you were very upset with your ranking in the ESPN Top 30 Under 30, which if you guys didn't know, ESPN did a list of top 30 wrestlers under the age of 30. And Maxwell Jacob Friedman said on Twitter, "I couldn't agree with you more. The list was flawed. What the hell is a Vikingo?" Anyways, I would love to come on Impulsive and talk about the list as well as the fact that AEW, Wembley Stadium, all in, yada, yada, yada. Dylan Dennis, the guy who's going to be professionally boxing against Logan Paul in October, responded to MJF's tweet. He says, "Logan is dealing with something right now, little man. I'll gladly come to AEW and show you how easy it is to wrestle. Try a fight sometime." And then he said a bad word. And then MJF having fun says, "No thanks, I don't wrestle jobbers." This was a very fun Twitter exchange, but here's the reality. MJF wanting to be on Impulsive is huge, but would he do it? Now, what is MJF really getting out of being on Impulsive, right? Well, he's the world champion, right? And he would obviously be promoting AEW All In, which would be fantastic for AEW. But we don't necessarily know the creative control that WWE has in regards to Impulsive. We know with Logan Paul being part of WWE, we know there is something in which WWE superstars appear from time to time. And it's actually been a really cool part of Impulsive. Those podcasts where they've brought in Triple H or Cody Rhodes or Becky Lynch or Seth Rollins or whatever it may be, those episodes actually perform pretty well on YouTube. And they're actually quite interesting to watch as well as entertaining. But would Logan Paul ever feature an AEW talent? And the real question, the real reason why that question is even brought up is because for all we know, as of right now, WWE doesn't have any sort of creative control. But would it be odd for Logan Paul to use his platform to help promote the opposing wrestling company? And I think that's why this is such an interesting story to me. MJF, Logan Paul, it would make for a very entertaining podcast. But at the end of the day, Impulsive is not really a podcast to put over pro wrestling. He just tends to do it because he is in the WWE. So if you guys are excited about the potential possibility of this podcast happening, it's unfortunate because I don't think it's realistic. And I'm not sure if WWE would clear it. And I'm not even sure if they have a say in that. But I don't think Logan Paul would want to piss off the WWE. Some really good news if you're a fan of Lucha Libre, AAA potentially coming to the United States with a TV deal. I was reading a very interesting article from House of Wrestling House. Nick Hausman had a very interesting report about Rush and AAA. Basically, what Nick Hausman said in this article was that, well, Rush decided to go to AAA and they wanted, Rush was adamant that Tony Khan wanted Preston Vance and Jose, the assistant, to be by his side. Now, to be very clear, Jose, the assistant, did go on Twitter and did say that this report is 100% bullshit. But what was very interesting in this report that caught my attention was, while poking around, we also heard good things about AAA's progress toward getting a major TV deal in the United States. We were told that within a year and a half, a deal could be announced and that the company feels they can make a significant mark in the United States, considering the hugely underserved Latino market. Conan in particular sounds like he is ready to show that Lucha Libre could be a viable north of the border competitor. This is fantastic. Honestly, if AAA can make some sort of move in North America, more specifically on television, I think that could be a really, really big thing, especially when you look at the United States and the opportunities that they can have. Look, I don't know which company would decide to bring Lucha Libre on their show. And the reason why I say I don't know which company, it's because I look largely at Impact Wrestling. Now, Impact Wrestling has a TV deal with Access. Obviously, Anthem owns Impact. They own Access. There's a lot of benefits for Impact in that current situation. But there's been rumors for a while that Impact could potentially get another TV deal. We haven't seen that play out. I would say that Impact probably has a better reach or a bigger reach than AAA. I could be wrong, right? I don't have statistics in front of me, but I would say in terms of North America, I would say Impact, not even just North America, but when you factor in overall global presence, I would say that Impact is relatively known. I think AAA coming to America on a TV deal could be great. Now, I don't want to speculate because I think, maybe we see their shows on Netflix. We know Netflix wants to do live sports. We know that AAA has a deal with AEW. Maybe that can help get them into America, right? Maybe Warner Bros., they want to do live sports as well. They want to do live sports for HBO Max or Max, the streaming service, whatever you want to call it. So we know Apple and all these other companies are trying to do live sports. We know Amazon's trying to do live sports. It makes a lot of sense for AAA to do live shows on a platform that is massive in the United States. But I don't want to assume that's going to happen because realistically, what is the benefit of AAA getting a TV deal in America if it's not a massive TV network? That's the real question. What is the benefit of it? But if they have the opportunity to come into America, one thing I would suggest or maybe throw out there is the idea of them also joining Access TV. Very similarly to what we see with New Japan Pro Wrestling on Access TV, I can see AAA, Lucha Libre also doing the same thing, which would be actually a really good pickup for Anthem. It's beneficial to Impact Wrestling, who has a great relationship with AAA. I could see that being more realistic. However, as I said earlier, there are tons of deals that are being rumored, with all of these streaming services wanting live sports. Impact and AAA are the two that I would look at. If I'm Paramount, if I'm, Peacock, if I'm any of these companies, I would look at bringing in one of these companies to bring in their live events. And I think it would be a massive win. And you can't you can't shut down the idea of ESPN and ESPN Plus. I could see it very well happening as well. And if that happens, I think that's a big win for AAA, and I think it's a big win for fans. And our final story of the day, guys, AEW bringing in a former WWE coach. Love this story. Very, very cool stuff here. So Tony Khan brought in on the tapings just a few days ago, he brought in Allison Danger. If you guys don't know who that is, her real name is Kathy Carino. She is the sister of Steve Carino, and then she is Colby Carino's aunt. Okay, so family ties. Obviously, she has a very big history in professional wrestling. She started wrestling for ROH. She co-created Shimmer, if I remember correctly, which, if you guys don't know what Shimmer is, it's basically an all-female wrestling promotion in the U.S. She joined WWE in October 2021, but then she was let go in January of 2022, part of the massive cuts in the WWE. She was coaching at WWE. Now it seems like she's going into AEW ROH as a producer. That's what she was doing at the tapings. Nobody knows for a fact if she's been signed to a full-time deal or exactly how everything's going, but it appears that she is going to be sticking around with AEW. She has experience. AEW's women's division needs help. Perhaps she can help in that area. But I think this is a good thing. Anytime somebody leaves WWE, the beauty is knowing that this industry is so healthy where other companies exist where you can actually go and make a living. I think that is exciting. So best of luck to Kathy Carino, a.k.a. Allison Danger. Hopefully it all works out for her. But I hope this is a full-time deal because it would make a lot of sense for AEW to do so. The Carino family's got that experience, man. And she has that WWE experience as well. So it's a perfect element. She's a veteran of the game. She understands the game. She understands because she's been in the game. And I think that type of perspective is needed in a backstage environment. And this is the reason why I advocate a lot for veterans to be producers and coaches for WWE, AEW, Impact, and etc. Let me know what you guys think down below.